All right, I'm flexing here again. Some bad hangers and some work the customer probably did. And then I cut out the flex pipe. I'm gonna get ready to fit it. So if you guys wanna watch me do it, Caleb will pause the radio so we don't get dinged from the old YouTubers. How's that view? Let's check it. It's not so good. Let's see what we can do better. Can we do better? How about we turn it that way? Does that do anything for us? Oh yeah, how about that? It does do something for us. All right, let's fit it. Alrighty, so what I'm probably going to do is add a piece in here and then another piece in there, and then I'll weld that all in. So what I'll do is I'll make this stronger and then I'll kind of butt weld with a gap. And what ruined this flex pipe was the hangers in the back. So he's got some okay clamp on hanger back there. This was more important to fix there. Give me a second. Getting flexy here. Flexing my muscles. Sorry about that, I had to go make some materials. So I added a piece of 1 3/4 inside of here. It makes this metal thicker and denser and can take more heat for gap welding. This side is just a simple piece of tubing. And then, like I said, we're gonna do a butt. We're gonna butt that right in. And then now, I can blaze it so you guys can watch. Let me make sure that I can get my everything the way that I want it. Back here it wasn't cut really straight, which really doesn't make much of a difference. I'm going to weld it all in anyway. There we go. Let's do it like that. Couple tacks.
That's fine. I'm working on the Sienna anyway.
So let me show you what we got going on. Zoom out. So we're gonna basically butt weld this in. This is already shown inside the flex pipe. There's a piece of pipe inside of here. Oompa Loompa. Oompa Loompa. And then we're tacked in here. And we're tacked in here. So then I'll just butt weld this whole thing. This is basically just going to get like a lap weld, and then this will be another butt weld. And then what I'll do is I'll look through these holes while I'm welding over the top to make sure that I'm sealed. So I'll put you back over here. So there was a guy who's doing custom exhaust. Thank you for watching. He said he's been doing it for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And he's the best guy in his town. That doesn't say a lot for your town. I will tell you, I'm probably the best guy in my town, right? I'm the only guy in our town. I'm the only exhaust shop in my town. But I would say there is another exhaust shop down the road. I don't consider Midas an exhaust shop anymore, or Monroe. So I will say I'm the best in my town too, but I'm probably the best in many towns. So we'll keep going.
The only issue with the other shop that's close to us is they're more focused on, can we get them as a customer, than let's fix it the right way.
Yeah, their first point of sale is bring it in, let's see if we can't patch it up. Yeah, we're not that kind of shop. Even though this is kind of like a patch repair, you know, we don't lead with, you know, we're gonna patch up your rotted out exhaust system, but
Yeah.
that's not how we roll. This is a quality job here. And I said that I would do a video for you to help advance your skills, and I'll show you that. And that's how I got Caleb the basics and foundation to what I do. And it's hard because if you're good at shooting pool, you should be really good at custom exhaust. And I mean really good at shooting pool. If you're just a guy that can just bang balls around a pool table, I can't make you relate to how to make the bends move, but I'll show you how I teach my guys freestyle. We've never used bend cards here. Caleb hasn't even ever seen a bend card or a dial indicator or a degree indicator. Yeah.
Not in this
That's
shop,
good.
at least. I've seen them and I know what they are.
Yeah. You don't need that stuff. You know, the way I teach everyone how to do it. And it's basically a blank canvas when you're doing an exhaust. If there's no exhaust system on a car, I don't really need to see anything. I can just make it happen and follow where the engineers put the exhaust system. So let me stop boring you. Let's weld this in. With my Harbor Freight MIG helmet that I need to get a new one. All of them need to be warmed. And I like when I do it this way, just putting a piece of pipe in the flex pipe, because I can really penetrate and lay some heat on everything. This material here is thinner, but the thicker material is pulling the heat into it. And you still have to be careful because you're welding with, 10, 20-year-old contaminated, crappy materials. That's the way it is. And then for the top of the welds, what I teach the guys is 11 to 1, meaning if you're welding on this side, right, you want to start at 11 and bring your weld back to 1 o'clock, and then 1 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and that's how you know that you got the top of your welds really good. You don't usually have to go back and chase it. And then there's welds that I can just run across here and see and listen and know that I got it. I don't usually need a camera or a mirror to go back and check my tops of my weld. See, now this pipe here is weak. And the difference here is why you have more problems burning through the lower part of the pipe. The pipe has heat soak in it now, and then when you put the heat directly under it, it's getting hotter, if you follow what I'm saying. So the heat here is hotter than it is here because your heat's rising. Here it's hitting the pipe and transferring and putting more heat on in your area that you're welding. So you wonder why that it flows so nice up top, and then when you're trying to weld upside down, the heat loss on the top of the weld is way greater than it is from the bottom of the weld. I'm gonna move over here to the lap part of the job. Same process. And sometimes I'll run this bead all the way over, and then I'll go this way, and then I'll start here, and it depends on how I feel and what I'm doing and where I'm at. And I'll start over here again at 11. It's always nice when the MIG wire has a curl to it, like this, because then it grabs more of where you're going, or where you're trying to weld. And then you just pull the weld back into your gap. And that's what I'm doing now, is I'm filling my gap here with the pulse, giving me airflow. And then now I'm getting to the bottom, which will be a little bit more difficult. Yeah, I love the smell of burnt shirt and skin in the morning. And on this side, can't tell you how many times I've been on fire. When they say fireproof shirts, yeah, they still catch on fire. It's just a slow burn. It gives you enough time to put yourself out. Got a hole there. And then, same thing here. We're going to go past where we were. Past sight of your contact zone. Woo! I think that's good. All right, that should be solid. A little viewski. All right, so that's blazed in. And listen, I can lay nice stuff. I can lay not so nice stuff. It's all functioning and perfect. This pipe will never fall. When I see this car back, if he has this car, it'll be rusted out anywhere else but my welds. It's very often, if not never, we have a weld that we do fails. And if it failed, it's because the drive shaft's bad, or the motor mounts are bad, or something had so much vibration in it that it cracked the pipe, but not our weld. It will crack it in front of it or someplace else, where a hanger's missing on someone's job or something like that. But yeah, people say a lot of shit about my welds. This isn't a fashion show, dude. This is get it done and make sure it doesn't leak. And I can lay dimes with a MIG welder. I can do it all. I can do swirls, I can do rainbows, I can do whatever I want. I just don't really, I'm not putting that effort into this job. It's not that kind of job. Look at the rest of the car. You're like, oh, your welds are crappy. Look at the rest of the work that I'm working on here. What does that matter?
It's not worth the extra time.
Right. What am I trying to do here? Make this
now, if
look better by making my welds look better?
If a customer's paying a premium because they want something.
Absolutely. Like,
nice,
here's a factory weld.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That looks perfect.
There's nothing done by the factory that's a beautiful weld. They're all garbage. All right. Thanks for watching.